Oh, well, the audio's working, thank goodness for that. Stream's up, chat's up, we're all good to go. Good. Just wait for Mr. Reese to hop into his car and then we should get underway. Oh good, Reese dropped down. Guessing that's a ready up signal given. Someone else has dropped out now. Who the fuck dropped out? Tired as hell. Stevenson, I'm guessing? No, he's there. Don't know. How in the fuck do we have a race with 13 people in it and we're late by 4 minutes? How? He's back. Can we get going? Thank God. Alright. When the timer ends, I'll start up my intro and hell will begin. Hello everyone and welcome to round 14 of the Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and for tonight we'll be competing at Yas Marina Circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Constructed in 2009 and designed by track-making supremo Herman Tilke, Yas Marina has gained a reputation of being one of the worst and least respected racetracks on the Formula One calendar. Outside of the races that have championship significance, the racing we tend to have here is mediocre at best. Thanks to the contract it has with Formula One, the circuit won't be disappearing anytime soon. But in 2022, an effort was made to redesign the racetrack into a more simplified form to try and improve the circuit's racing quality. It now measures up at 5.28 kilometers and consists of 16 corners and 2 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of turn 6 and into the long left-hand sweeper of turn 9. The hairpins of turn 5 and the 90-degree right-hander of turn 12 may also provide passing opportunities, but for the most part overtaking will be done within the DRS zones. Now, before we focus on this 18-minute qualifying session, there is a bit of news to go through first. And boy, oh boy, is there a fair chunk to talk about. So, first question I imagine a few people would have on their minds: where the hell have I been for the past 2 weeks? Well, I've been here, sort of. It's just that the attendance has been so incredibly poor that for the past 3 races we haven't had a stream. As a matter of fact, for the first race in Brazil, that was canned. And there was only 9 drivers who signed up to race at Las Vegas, and I believe there was only 11 that raced in Barcelona last week. I have no idea why the attendance has basically nuked itself into oblivion, but this is as good as the attendance has been within the past 4 weeks, and we're sitting at 13. A decent chunk of this field is made up of reserves, so it's quite pitiful really that I have to sit here and do this, but hey, I set myself a benchmark at 12 drivers. There's 13, so here I am. I'm going to do my best to try and provide a show. So, the Drivers' Championship has changed quite significantly from the last time I talked about it. Big Al now leads the championship standings. He's on 246 points, with GeForce Crichton in P2 on 203. Al with a decent lead in the championship, and I imagine Mr. Crichton isn't going to do the last race at Silverstone, so I'm guessing Big Al is going to wrap up the championship here at Abu Dhabi. Sebastian Spicer is third on 182, followed by Potsy on 138, and Seb rounds out the top 5 on 127 points. Just a note as well, for the race that we had at Las Vegas, Big Al won that, and Seb actually won the race at Barcelona. In the Teams Championship, Mercedes lead on 296 points, followed by Aston Martin on 277. McLaren are next on 272, followed by AlphaTauri on 233, then Ferrari on 201. That is actually incredibly tight at the top of the Constructors' board. It's just a shame that no one's here to really make any differences in that board. But that's pretty much it. In terms of news, we can now focus on this here qualifying session. I do notice a Ferrari circulating at the moment. This would be Huey making his way through the final sector, sporting the Vegas livery, the real-life Vegas livery that they had last week, a little over a week ago. Quite a nice looking design, I'm sure you'll all agree. We're right on board with Huey, give you a guided tour of this Yas Marina Grand Prix circuit. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. In 7th gear, we'll brake at the 100 metre board, drag it down to 4th gear, miss the apex, ahead up towards the S section, turns 2, the right of 3, then the left of turn 4. Down the hill, this will complete the first sector of the racetrack. Hard on the brakes here, down to 5th gear, 3rd gear rather, for turn 5. Up through the gearbox, we'll open DRS and head towards turn 6, one of the better overtaking spots on the racetrack. Stevenson sets the benchmark of a 23.0. Round turn 6 and into turn 7. It's important that you get a nice exit through here. You maximise top speed around turn 8, and more importantly heading towards turn 9. There's plenty of yellows out, hopefully none of the drivers are affected by those. Head around the long left-hand sweeper, that is turn 9. Around the marina section, turns 10, 11, then the 90 right of turn 12. And then the hotel section, turns 13, then 14. 2 corners remain now. Turn 15, if I remember, is flat. Yep, it's flat. And the final corner, turn 16. Onto the main straight. Huey will set a 22.3, and he can find a lot more time from that. He completely butchered turn 1, so there's probably an extra couple tenths in that lap time, just from that one corner alone. Grid Jokes goes to P2 with a 22.4. Reese Cohen, Huey's teammate, is making his way round the final 2 corners. Back onto the main straightaway he goes. He'll set a 22.5, third quickest at the moment. Danoku making his way into turn 16, the final corner, back onto the main straight. He takes provisional pole position with a 21.9. Sebastian Spicer had a bit of a slide there, I think. Caught the back end of that. He'll head around the final corner and back onto the main straightaway. He'll set a 22.2. He goes second fastest with that lap time. Championship leader Big Al circulating out on track. Ryan Bell on a flying lap, making his way towards the final 2 turns. Flat out round turn 15. Brake hard for turn 16. Down to 4th gear. Back on the power. Almost invalidating. He crosses the line and takes provisional pole with a 21.8. Big Al will be getting ready for a flying lap run. Making his way around the final 2 corners. Turn on the battery shortly. There we go. Down the main straight towards turn 1. Braking where the 100 board should be. That got demolished a little bit earlier. I think it might have been Huey actually. He got real close to that braking board. For whatever reason, they're not elevated into turn 1. They need to be elevated because it's so easy to knock them over. The racing line through turn 1 forces you to try and open up the entry as much as possible, so drivers get awfully close to the braking boards, and it becomes unsurprising when someone takes them out. Usually I'm a bit harsher when drivers take out braking boards, but turn 1 here at Yas Marina, that's a bit of an exception. Yeah, thanks, mate. Don't worry, I've missed a few Tuesday nights as well, not for any reasons on my end. It's just the attendance was so poor that I didn't even bother trying to stream a race. So this is the first stream that we've had of Tier 1, I think, in 3 weeks. So it's quite a shame, really, what has happened to the attendance. It's been completely destroyed. Big Al making his way around the final corner and back onto the main straightaway. Will set a time good enough for 4th, a 22.2. Few hundredths off Spicer's P3 time. Got almost a 10th to Huey in P5. ACW in the Mercedes, making his way into the long sweeper of turn 9. This was one of the major changes, if not the most major change of the 2022 circuit redesign. What used to be there was a very technical stop-start-stop section. It was not... personally speaking, I didn't like it that much. I know some people, though, really did enjoy that little section that used to be there. I just didn't like the nicheness and the technicality of it as ACW goes to 7th. I'd much rather the simplicity of a sweeper, and it's still quite technical. It's still tough to get right, because the traction coming out of the corner, if you get on the throttle a bit too early, if you are a bit too aggressive with your steering, the back end can come around on you. Oh, and the outside curb there as well. The outside curb is not very nice. M-Dog making his way up through the S's. Reserve driver in the Mercedes. Judging from the Tier 1 chat, he is a Hamilton fan, so it's unsurprising that he's in this Black Arrows, making his way onto the back straight away. He'll open DRS and head towards turn 6. All in all, so far, qualifying, fairly competitive. P3 down to P10, separated by 7/10 of a second. That's not too bad. Stevenson's not too far off the top 10 either. 2 drivers in the 21s at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised later on in the session we saw a few more drivers crack into the 21s. Where is Stevenson? He's just ahead. He's making his way out of turn 9. He's currently 2.5 tenths up. M-Dog just behind. He has to pass a Ferrari. I'm not sure who that could be. It's either Cohen or Huey. Gets out of the way. That's well done there. Round turn 11. That little kink there before turn 12 is really nasty. The car bottoms out quite dramatically through there. It's a nasty corner. Stevenson onto the main straight. We'll flick down to M-Dog. Stevenson improves to P10 with a 22.7, and M-Dog goes to 6th with a 22.3. A hundredth behind Huey in P5, who begins another flying lap. Down towards turn 1. Much tidier through the opening corner there. He should get this S section pretty spot on. Looks pretty good. And let's have a look. Getting turn 1 right has resulted in a gain of 3 tenths. So it was more than the 2 tenths I initially predicted. Shows you how much of an effect one corner can have over a flying lap. Even on a circuit that's over 5. Oh, a crash! Oh my goodness, it's Bell! And is that Stevenson or Plevy? It's Stevenson. Bell and Stevenson have crashed on the straight. There is Bell's car. It's like Bell swerved into him. What the hell was that all about? Stevenson crawling round. What the hell was that all about? Well, Bell's out. He's holding provisional pole position, but will he keep it? Daniel has to improve by a tenth of a second to try and take provisional pole away from Bell. Currently making his way through the first sector S's and up towards the first sector split. Somebody's just improved. There was grid jokes in the Alpha Romeo. Danoku is down by 9 thousandths of a second. Spice is up by 11 thousandths of a second as he makes his way through the middle sector. Yellow's out, a slow moving Merc out on track, who gets out of the way. That's a good job there. I believe that might be ACW on an outlap. Round the final turn and onto the main straight. Spicer stays P3, but he improves. He hops into the 21s. Huey's gone back into pit lane. I think Bags is going to do the same. M-Dog's in. So that must have been M-Dog getting out of the way, not ACW. ACW's back here, making his way through the final sector now. Reese has invalidated. Blake is still driving slow. I'm incredibly curious to know what happened between him and Bell to result in such a dramatic accident. Oh, well, ACW's reinvented turn 1 and the game said, no, you can't do that, mate. It's invalidated his lap. Red jokes, he's going back in, same as Seb. Matt Plevy's currently down to the middle sector. Is he pushing? Don't think so. Looks like he's saving battery. Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. Going to complete this flying lap. I'm guessing he's going to improve by a considerable amount here in the final sector. Well, he found time. He found 72 thousandths overall. But he found, I think, about 2 and a bit tenths in that final sector. So he'll know on his final run he'll be able to string together a better lap. Maybe try and crack into the top 10. I don't think that's an impossibility for Matt. ACW, I think he's pushing hard to try and get back into pit lane here. Yeah, using the full width of the circuit. So he'll dart back into the pits, put on one final set of tyres and send it for a final run. We've got Mr. Warren out on track, yet to set a lap time. If he can try and crack into the 22s, he'll definitely be in the competition. Anything lower than a 22, you might be struggling towards the back of the field in the race. Because as you can see, it's quite competitive. From P1 all the way down to P12, that's a second. Zach taking it nice and easy. Making sure he doesn't overcook these tyres on an outlap. Don't want to burn them up too quick. Matt's going back into pit lane, so he might be able to get his final set on and do one more flying lap. I think we've got a bit of movement in the pit lane too. A Ferrari's coming out. Is that Huey or Reese? The game's not going to tell me yet. Let's have a look then. It's Reese. Oh yeah, say hello to the worst pit lane exit in Formula 1. It is so stupid how the pit lane is made here. But hey, it is what it is. Alright, Zach turns on the battery, heads round the final corner and onto the main straightaway. 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. This might be Zach's last attempt at a flying lap. Into turn 1, down to 4th gear. Keeps 2 wheels on the correct side of the white line. So he heads up the hill, round turn 3. Down the hill, round turn 4. I caught something of it, yeah. Not it fully, but I definitely caught something of that incident between you and Bell. I couldn't really understand it. So... As Zach Warren makes his way round turn 6, round turn 7. Everyone else, look at all the traffic making their way through the middle sector. Getting ready for their final run. Mr. Warren, he should have a clear track from here to the finish line. A lot of throttle modulation there out of turn 9. He was not confident at all. Applying the accelerator, had a few cracks at it. It's been tidy. I think he's made a mistake. Oh, I see. That's how you two came together. I couldn't really work it out from the camera angle I had. I was sort of saw what happened at the bottom of the screen as Warren sets the 11th fastest time with a 22.5. So he's in the 22s. He's in the competition. That's the most important thing for Zach. Definitely in the fight. Reese Cohen is up by 28 thousandths to the first sector. M-Dog begins a flying lap. He's heading down towards turn 1. Behind him would be Daniel Koo in the Haas. Behind him would be Grid Jokes in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what M-Dog does to the first sector. Clock says for the reserve driver, he's up by 45 thousandths. ACW is beginning a flying lap behind as Daniel Koo spun. Or rather, just made a mistake at turn 1. So his qualifying is over. He won't be getting pole position. Reese Cohen heading up towards the middle sector split. He's up by 0.2 of a second. Out of turn 9 now. 5th gear. Using all of the curb on the outside and heading through the Marina section. M-Dog's heading up towards the middle sector split. Huey's out on track. Same with Bags Liddell. Just begun his flying lap attempt. Heading towards the first sector split. He's up by 18 thousandths. Big Al's heading towards turn 6. Currently P4. He needs to improve by 0.3 to try and challenge Spicer, who is just behind him on the road. Ferrari crosses line. Cohen does a 22.5. It's P10 for him. Next car we've got to keep an eye on in the leaderboard will be M-Dog. Spicer to the middle sector split. He's down. M-Dog jumps to the top with a 21.8. So he takes provisional pole. Can anyone respond to that lap time? ACW will be the next car to cross the line. Grid Jokes goes to P5. ACW, P9 with a 22.4. Next will be Huey. He jumps to P3 with a 21.8. Big Al heads on to the main straightaway now. It's good enough for P7. Spicer improves to a 21.907. It's 4th place for him. And Bags Liddell, he improved, but he invalidated his lap, if I'm not mistaken. So there we go. M-Dog will start from pole position then for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He's taken pole position, not by much, by 14 thousandths of a second to Ryan Bell in P2, who crashed out several minutes earlier during qualifying. A very, very tight qualifying session overall. The top 4 separated by a little over half a tenth. Top 5 separated by a little over 1/10. The whole field, just over 0.8 of a second. Not a bad qualifying at all. Just be waiting on Donald Koo. There we go. Very, very competitive qualifying here at Yas Marina. The M-Dog will start from pole position then with a 21.841, beating Ryan Bell by 14 thousandths of a second. Huey's P3, only 14 thousandths off Bell's time. Then we have Spicer, Donald Koo, Grid Jokes, Big Al, Blake Stevenson, and Bags Liddell. ACW rounds out the top 10. Then we have Reese Cohen in P11, followed by Zach Warren and Matt Plevy, starting from the back in 13th place. All in all, very, very solid qualifying. Just under 8.5 tenths separating the whole field. Not bad at all. Race time then. And I have a feeling that just about everybody will be starting on the hard compound tyre for this one. That tends to be the go-to strategy. For a 50% race, go onto the hard straight away, wait for the conditions to cool down later, and then hop onto the medium tyre. Could be wrong, but that's what I've seen so far as definitely a major majority. Slightly overcast as well, you can see in the top left. Slightly overcast. Don't see clouds all too often here at Yas Marina. There's some here tonight though. Maybe the Codemaster gods might throw a spanner into the works. Maybe we get some rain. It's not impossible. Not impossible. Alrighty then, let's get on with the show. We have 5 red lights, and we're underway here at Yas Marina. It's a nice start from the front row. M-Dog's got the better jump as he heads towards turn 1. Bell with the inside line dives it in and makes sure he takes the lead out of the first corner. Through turns 2, round turn 3, and down towards turns 4, and more critically turn 5. Will we see a dive bomb here from M-Dog? No. He'll stay in behind Ryan Bell. Further back, some 2 wide, 3 wide action as the midfield tries to sort itself out. We'll head on to the long back straightaway and head towards turn 6. Bell still leads, but he's punching a hole in the air for M-Dog to have a look down the inside. He'll dive it in deep. 2 cars going through side by side. Round turn 7. M-Dog has the appropriate line. He has the traction as well. And he takes the lead back. Up towards turn 9 now. Spicer's in the fray as well in P3. Bell round the long way. Can he switch underneath him? Or is he under attack from Spicer as they head through the Marina section? Not quite. Bell hangs on to second. Towards turn 12. Big out. Oh, Concertina effect. Contact. More contact. As the midfield bunches up, heading into the hotel section. Al and Spicer side by side. Al wins the fight side by side through the penultimate corner. Huey's balked on the inside. Oh, contact, and around goes Grid Jokes. Flick spins it back in the right direction, and Huey, he's into pit lane. Hopping straight onto the mediums. No front wing change though. Maybe the game, even though he selected that the wing should be replaced, the game didn't do it for him. It does happen from time to time. Or he's playing some kind of strategical game which I doubt. I don't know why he would do that if he'd start on the hard tyre. So I'm guessing he came in for damage and the game just said, no, mate, it's all good. And Dog out in front. 4.5 tenths between him and Bell. Bell closing the gap, but not by enough to attack into turn 9. Further back. Reese Cohen close to Stevenson. Stevenson will hang on to P6. Running wide was Ryan Bell there at the exit of turn 9. Still pointing in the right direction. That's the most important thing. Through the hotel section. Everyone fairly evenly spaced out after the opening lap. Everyone dicing very, very hard for positions on the first lap. They're a bit calmer now. And now DRS is enabled, so it's game on towards the front of the field between M-Dog Bell and Big Al as Reese Cohen passes Stevenson. Stevenson going a bit slowly here. Can Bags Liddell find a way through? Looks, but doesn't commit to a move down the inside. He stays behind. Don't we ever? We love good old-fashioned DRS trains. We see drivers sit in the slipstream and do nothing else. Except for the drivers at the front of the train. We'll see plenty of passing, plenty of back and forth action between the top 2, maybe even the top 3 if Big Al can get involved. I think he wants to get involved. M-Dog are now closing in. M-Dog trying to create an opening. 3 wide heading into turn 9. Al trying to look around the outside. Slight contact. All running wide. Bell on the outside on the racing line is able to keep the race lead. Al stays in second position. M-Dog down to third. Bit of a gap forming already between Reese and Bags. Bags needs to put his head down, try and close that gap. Can't afford to not have DRS around a circuit like this where the DRS zones are so long. So very, very profound in their effect. Luckily for Bags, he has closed the gap down. He will get DRS. He won't separate the train just yet. Alright, take 2. DRS open. Al will go for the pass. Using some battery to do it too. Just in front. Oh, Bell has a look down the inside. Al leaves him room. Coming out to turn 7 now. Heading around turn 8. Bell will open DRS. Look around the outside. M-Dog closes the gap as well. ACW gets in front. Stevenson. Moves himself into P8. Whoa. You could hear the engine note change just a little bit at corner exit without feathering the throttle, trying to make sure he maintained traction. Underneath the hotel. Around turn 15, then turn 16. Final corner and back onto the main straight. You can understand why Al's being very aggressive. You can see here he's on the soft compound tyre. Wants to try and gain track position, try and pull away from this group. Makes a lot of sense why Ryan Bell dived to back up the inside at turn 6. He didn't want Al to just break away. Wanted to get in the fight. Cohen getting in the fight. Down the inside of Daniel Koo on those medium tyres. You can see the majority is on the hards, as I expected there to be. There are a couple on alternate tyres, one of which has just taken back the race lead. Round turn 7. Bell's got the battery switched on now. He's got the DRS switched on. To the outside. Or Al trying to fight back down the inside. Clevy overtakes his teammate. Oh, you have to be so careful with that outside curve at turn 9. It's a nasty, nasty piece of work Bell had to use absolutely all of it to try and keep Al at bay. Hard-fought racing at the front. Good to watch. Onto the main straight again. Bell a bit sideways, but he keeps it under control. Lap 6 begins. A long, long way to go in the race. Up the hill. Round turn 2. Round turn 3. Down the hill. Al having a look. Doesn't go for a move just yet. Gonna let DRS do the talking. I thought he might be extra aggressive. Try and dart down the inside. Then use DRS to try and pull away. But Al, no, he's just staying behind. And he's not even going to go for a move. So maybe he switched to plan B. ACW goes down the inside of Bags Liddell. So this train has split up. We got our top 7, then the rest of the field. They're currently doing battle as Bags Liddell closes in. Oh, 3 wide, heading towards turn 9, and around the outside goes Matt Plevy on those medium tyres. Oh, he gets it sideways. Oh, he almost threw it all away. Oh, contact between him and Bags. Bags, oh, contact, I think, maybe, between him and ACW when he tried to rejoin. Oh, that almost ended in complete catastrophe. And somehow everyone is still pointing in the right direction. And I don't think anyone got damage from that either. That could have turned super nasty, super quick. But they're still running. Lost a little bit of time to the leaders. Time that more than likely they'll never get back unless there is a safety car at some point. ACW, will he go for a move? No, is the correct answer. Meanwhile, Big Al's out in front leading the way on those soft tyres. Bell, though, I reckon he might have a crack at getting the lead back. Maybe not here, down into turn 6. Oh, never mind, he's having a look. To his credit, he's having a look. Bags Liddell and Stevenson battling away as well. Yellow's out, what's happened? Oh, Stevenson and Liddell around at turn 6. Stevenson has damage. Liddell back in the right direction. Does he have damage too? I was half thinking maybe I should flick to that pass, but I thought it was going to be fairly straightforward. As it turns out, it wasn't as straightforward as I initially thought. Stevenson in huge trouble with that front wing. Looks like Liddell's front wing is pretty much intact. So he will get by Stevenson here. There we go. Yeah, I'm curious to know what happened between those two at turn 6 to result in such an accident. Or M-Dog, hello, running wide. Running awfully wide, dropping down to P6. Still in the leading train though, that's the most important thing. Bags Liddell has retired from the session then. I'm not sure if that's out of sympathy or out of frustration. Either or, he's out of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Oh, Bell. Gee whiz. That's the thing I'm never comfortable with these top split drivers. They're really comfortable with getting close to one another. They get real close. Too damn close. It's fantastic to watch, but you're always holding your breath. Out of turn 9, Bell takes the lead back. Awesome stuff. Liddell's AI parks up at turn 4. Now despawned, so it won't impede anybody. It's leading group. It's leading 6 cars. It's going to be a fascinating battle. We've got a mix-up of strategies in this leading train. We've got Big Al on the softs. And Reese Cohen in P4. He's on the mediums. All the other cars are on the hard compound tyre, but they might pit in at different times. If memory serves me correctly, the undercut here is quite powerful. So I imagine the first person to pit off those hard tyres and onto a set of mediums probably gain a fairly significant amount of time, especially if they come out in clear air, which I imagine they would with the reduced field size. And there goes Big Al. Whoa, gee whiz, that looked a bit awkward through turn 6. It's like Al got a bit squirreled up on the brakes, I think, as Stevenson retires from the session as well. So we're down to 11. To the inside goes Bell, to the outside goes Spicer as they head around turn 9. Spicer to the inside. He takes P2, but for how long as Bell almost loses it? Almost 3 wide through turn 10. Down into turn 12. Bell in the lead. Al in second. Spicer third. My word, these guys are on edge. I see, so it's retiring out of sympathy, I understand. In that case, it might be a retirement out of frustration for Stevenson. A shame. We are down to 11 cars, and we've still got a long way to go in the race. But the top 6, well, now the top 5, M-Dog's lost time, now 1.4 seconds behind. He can gain that time back, especially if this starts happening. Cohen, Daniel Koo battling away. This is for P4 on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Al, he's given the racing line. Bell dives it down the inside. It's side by side through turn 6. Spicer wants to get involved. Up through the gears. DRS open on the McLaren, on the Aston Martin. Catching up to the Red Bull. Almost 3 wide again as they head into turn 9. Spicer trying to get Bell round the outside. Can't get it done. But Bell gets it sideways. Loses a little bit of time. Most importantly, keeps the track position. Keeps P2. Daniel Koo up to 4th. Cohen down to 5th. M-Dog, he's still there. He's in touching distance. Cohen sideways. Maybe he lost a little bit of time. He has lost a little bit of time. And M-Dog is back to within that critical 1 second range. And Cohen DCs from the session. Hopefully he has a backup invite or two and tries to get back into the lobby. But that's a shame. He was definitely in this fight. Oh, hello. Ryan Bell and Al battling through turn 5. Going at it hammer and tong everywhere on the racetrack. M-Dog moves up to 5th position. Cohen's AI down to 6th. Into turn 6 we go. Almost making contact. Again, these guys are super comfortable. Getting really close to one another. Daniel Koo will ride on board. Trying to close the gap to Spicer, to Al, to Ryan Bell, who doesn't have DRS. Al goes round the outside. Spicer looking around the outside too. Can't get it done. He narrows up the corner exit to make sure he keeps Daniel at bay. Side-by-side action in front. Al down the inside here at 13 of all places. Round turn 14, they're still battling. Spicer, a window of opportunity perhaps to gain a place? Not quite. It was close. But to try and make a move heading into turn 15 is probably not the best idea in the world. It's lap 12 of 29. Cohen still tumbling down the order, down to P8 now. Through the S's. Down to turn 5. Al making those soft tyres work. Done 11 laps on them. They still seem pretty okay, especially with the help of DRS. Down towards turn 6. Al on the racing line. He won't go for a pass. Neither will Spicer. Contact between him and Daniel Koo. And because of that, I think M-Dog got into the back of him as well. Out of turn 8, down towards turn 9. Al round the outside. Oh, he might be able to get it done round the outside. He needs some grip, though. Oh, that was tight. Al, Bell, down towards turn 12. Al with the inside line, but he's got it sideways. Contact between the top two. And somehow they're still pointing in the right direction. Round the final two corners, turns 15 and 16, and Al peels in. Can't do any more, he says. Now it's time for a big undercut. What tyres? Those look like mediums. And they go. A bit of lag there, he's already left. There we go. 1 second between Bell and Spicer. One other piece of info probably should bring up. 53% for Spicer, and he doesn't have DRS. That's an issue. Bell, he's got a bit of a margin going, and Daniel Koo, will he go for the pass? Down the inside he looks, but doesn't fully commit. He could have committed a bit harder there, but he left it to back out of it. Give himself DRS again, using up that overtake. Here we go. Man, that Haas has got some straight line speed. He whizzed on by. Granted, it was using battery. I imagine Spicer wasn't using too much. But this is a golden opportunity for Bell to just set some consistent laps. He doesn't have to worry about the cars behind. He can just worry about himself for a bit. The cars behind, they sort of have to work together a little bit to try and catch up. Try and not battle each other too much. Because if they do, Bell, he's just going to gain mountains worth of time as ACW pits in. So the first of the hard runners in. He's going to chuck on the medium compound tyre. I mean, if Big Al's trying to go to the end of the race on his mediums, I think ACW will be very much capable of doing the same. There goes Big Al. Make our way out of the incredibly stupid pit lane exit, and that's why it's so stupid. Cold tyres, terrible traction zone, car kicks out sideways. I think he hit the inside wall as well, which is easy enough to do through that silly pit lane exit. Alright, Daniel Koo getting back by. M-Dog a bit too far behind. Ooh, Spicer kind of overshot the entry there. M-Dog closes the gap. The gap will stretch out a little bit thanks to the better exit that Spicer got, but that was a key mistake. M-Dog has closed in. Warren on the back of that Plevy. I wonder how long that will go on those mediums. Will he be pitting onto a set of soft tyres? Oh, judging by the fact he's pitting now, I don't think so. He might be coming in for the hard tyre. Grid Jokes is in too. Big Al setting some fast lap times out there, as you'd expect. ACW, he'd be looking to do what Al's doing right now, try and set some nice fast lap times. Try and get that big undercut on all of his rivals. Reese has still not found a way back in. Spicer, we tried to make a pass here. Maybe, I think Bell might have made a mistake. He's now only 1.2 ahead of this group. So I'm going to hazard a guess that Bell made a mistake somewhere. He almost made a big one there too. So the gap has crumbled. It's back to 1 second as they go through the hotel section. Surely the top 5 are thinking of pitting onto those mediums. One of them is, and it's Sebastian Spicer. Oh, and he's been given a time penalty because this game's rubbish. He got a warning for coming into the pits normally, which can happen here at Abu Dhabi. Zach Warren in the pits as well, onto a set of mediums. Well, that's a major kick to the nutsack for Spicer. He will get that penalty removed so long as he doesn't get any more warnings. But it's so incredibly stupid that after all this time... Like, that glitch has been in the game since the very beginning. And it still hasn't been fixed. And it probably never will be fixed in this game's lifetime as M-Dog passes Danielku for P2. Just a note as well, ACW, because of that undercut, is now in front of Sebastian Spicer. ACW was nowhere near that leading group. Now he's in front. We all love the game, man. We all love F1 23 so much. Such a quality game. Absolute quality. Loved it so much we have a whopping 13 people in the top split race. Racing game of the year, yeah, 100%. Alright, top 3. Oh, hello, they're all in. So enough of the hard tyre. They're going to get ready. Chuck on the mediums. Get to the end. There goes Al. He's on 4 lap older tyres compared to these 3. Dog in front of Danielku. ACW now into 2nd position. It's Grid Joke sets a new fastest lap. He's currently down in P9. He might come out in a bit of traffic though, or maybe not. Oh, hello, side by side between Warren and M-Dog, down towards turn 5. M-Dog just slots in behind. Will open DRS. He might try to defend his position here because Danielku right on his gearbox. Will he have a look? He has a look. Doesn't fully commit to the move though. M-Dog half a second behind. Opens DRS again. Probably should hold that inside line as best he can. Danielku looking around the long way. Very, very difficult to pass around the outside of turn 9. It's not impossible, mind you. We saw it earlier. It is very difficult. You have to be so very committed around the long way. You probably need a grip advantage as well. In this case, though, pretty much everyone's on the same compound of tyre except for Matt Plevy in P5. Big Al. He's got a big lead at the moment, but he does have a tyre disadvantage. How much will that hurt him towards the end of the race? We'll find out when we get closer to the checkered flag, but right now he's got a very, very healthy advantage. Ryan Bell closing in on Spicer. Gap is 0.8 of a second. Running low on battery as well. Bell has spent every bit of it. He'll open DRS and head towards turn 6. He'll gain time, but not enough time. He'll stay behind Spicer. Levy holding 5th for the moment. Say for the moment because Warren's close. Bell's close as well. Might have a double overtake here. Bell getting in front of Spicer and Warren getting in front of Plevy. Both Red Bulls moving up in the world. One to P3, the other to P5. Spicer, he'll do his best to try and follow Bell's wheel tracks. Try not let him break away. One more car to try and pass, and that is ACW. And we'll have a clear track ahead to try and hunt down Al's McLaren. And there's a statement of intent. 24.3, new fastest lap for Ryan Bell. Gaps are pretty close further back. M-Dog might be trying to line up something here on Matt Plevy. Plevy's just a bit stuck on those hard tyres. They just don't have the grip to compete. And unable to get by yet. Might be able to try and set something up heading into turn 6. Here we go. Got the overtake switched on. Got the DRS switched on. Bell gets ACW. M-Dog gets Plevy. Doesn't get Warren though. Might be able to get Warren here on this straight. Not too bad at the moment, Play. Not too bad. Probably not close enough, and M-Dog wasn't close enough either, so Warren, he hangs on to P5 for now. Bell now has that clear track. 6.4 seconds the margin he has to hunt down. Spicer needs to get by ACW ASAP. He needs to pass. He can't let Bell get away. And that's exactly what Bell's doing. 6.5 tenths the gap at the moment, and that will continue to increase. Oh, well, considering you have the nickname Blicky in the Discord, I assume Blicky Official on Twitch would be you. So, I assumed as much. No, I'm just a cookie, Liddell. I'm just a cookie. Oh, hello. 3 wide action heading into turn 9, turn 6. DRS open, switching on the battery. Matt Plevy moving back behind M-Dog. Here comes, look at the straight line speed! Holy mackerel, to the inside. That Red Bull's quick. Real quick. Matt Plevy trying to keep the fight alive. Round turn 10, round turn 11. Contact! Yeah, okay, they get through. That's the most important thing. They get through. Just. Now M-Dog will try and hunt down Spicer, who still hasn't passed ACW. And that's because ACW hasn't lost any time. He's still within 6 tenths of Ryan Bell, so he's getting a helpful amount of DRS, or that doesn't help. Okay. Auto mod. I didn't realise this stream had an auto mod. There you go. DRS open. ACW. He's just loving the fact he's able to stay within Ryan Bell's toe. Not lose too much time. Keep Spicer at bay. Over back. Anything happening? Daniel's close. Matt Plevy's close. Will Matt have a crack? Round the outside. Very committed to that outside line, but he just doesn't have the grip of the medium tyre. He can't pull off what he did before. He was on the mediums then, he's on the hards now. They just don't have the grip. They got the longevity, there's no question about that, but they just don't have the grip. Hello, Hotel. To think the Hotel is the most noteworthy part of the racetrack. That's how rubbish this place is. The coolest part of the racetrack is some hotel changes colour. How cool is that? Bell, 2.4 seconds behind. He has cut down that gap considerably. Those fresher tyres just giving him the lap time that he needs to hunt down Big Al. But I know full well, as soon as these two come together, they're going to go hammer and tong again. They battled incredibly hard earlier. They're going to battle hard now, just like this. Daniel Koo trying to get by. Spice has finally made a move on ACW. So he's up to P4. Daniel Koo moving through into 7th. Almost, not quite. Side by side through turn 9. Yes. Daniel Koo's Done it. Oh, just about. He's up into 7th. I was getting a bit nervous with those two going side by side like that. Alright, 1.4 seconds the margin now. Crossing the line to begin lap 23. They have got 7 laps to go. Up through the Yeses. The gap is already down to a second. Bells has so much more speed, but if Al stays within DRS range, he'll dive bomb at almost every opportunity to try and slow Bell down. Gap is being cut down. Bell has DRS. 6.5, 6 tenths, 5.5 tenths into the braking zone. A mistake, a small mistake. Overshooting the braking zone at turn 6. Recover that time back here, heading up towards turn 9. Reese Cohen's AI kicks in again. Round the long left sweeper, up towards the Marina section. Closing that gap. Oh, will he go for a move earlier? We'll try and get him before the DRS zone. He could try and get it done at turn 5. Oh, he almost makes big contact there with Al. 6 to go. Round turn 1. Bell hits the apex. He was pretty spot on there through turn 1. Round 2. Round turn 3. Down the hill. Round turn 4. Bell looks. Dive bombs down the inside. Al slots into the slipstream. Oh, and he's given him... No, neither of them have DRS. Neither of them have DRS. And now backs off. This is part of the gamesmanship in esports racing. DRS is so powerful. When performance is turned equal, Bell's got better drive out of the corner. DRS open now. Al doesn't use the battery. I'm quite shocked. I thought he'd go harder at this. Okay, he stays behind. I thought he'd go a lot harder at Bell there at turn 9. Instead, he stays behind. Oh, not sure about that one, Con. We'll have to see how this one plays out. He's going to lose time to Bell. Spicer gets a 3-second time penalty. He now has 6 seconds next to his name. So he's done the thing that I suggested him not do. He's got himself more warnings and he's got another time penalty. 8 tenths. Al's not getting that back. I'm surprised. I thought they'd fight a lot harder. Al's still in the fray, but to gain back that sort of time, needs to use up his battery. He's not using it now. Maybe. Might see a pass for 3rd here too. ACW getting close. Might try and set something up heading towards turn 9. Now he's using up that battery. What's Al's game? Is he just going to stick in 2nd place? Is he just going to stay here, or will he try and, I don't know, try and set something up on the last lap? Does he feel that he has enough pace on these tyres to just stick with Bell and set up a pass on the very last lap? I just don't see that happening. Not with the extra grip that Bell has right now. Look at the gap, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 9.5 tenths. A bit of a slide there for Bell. Al, in response, is using up his battery. He's using it up in places where you probably shouldn't use it, just to try and get within that 1 second range. Because additionally, losing the fight to Bell is one thing, but his tyres are degrading to the point where he's going to fall back to Spicer, and probably more importantly, HCW, who still doesn't have a time penalty. No DRS. Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't go harder at that potential overtaking opportunity at turn 9 a few laps ago. I really thought he was going to go harder at that. No, he stays behind. DRS open on Warren's Red Bull, closing the gap to Daniel Koo. And Daniel can't really do much about that. Warren moves up to 6th place. Huey sets a new fastest lap, 22.9. Just to try and salvage an extra point after a less than ideal Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I mean, I guess he's still there. He's still fighting to stay within that 1 second range. Give him credit. I just have a hard time seeing him pass back into the race lead. See here, look at the gap, 1.3 seconds. Down into turn 5 hairpin. Up to 1.4 on exit, Bell should gain. There you go. Now 1.5. Yeah. A bit perplexed on that one. HCW sticking with Spicer. Flashing light at the back of that Aston Martin. M-Dog is closing in as well, so we might have a fairly nice battle for third here as Danoku round the outside at turn 9 gets it done. Good move, good respect as well shown by Warren. Fighting hard, fighting fair. It's always good. M-Dog now 1.1 seconds behind. 2 laps to go here at Yas Marina Circuit. Just a shade over 10 kilometers left of racing. Up the hill through the S section. Down towards turn 5. On the brakes hard, down to 4th gear. M-Dog almost got DRS, almost. Just misses out. Spicer closes in on Big Al. Those tyres have well and truly dropped off. Seb can't make the move at turn 6. Further back though, Warren going down the inside of Daniel Koo. Moves up to P6. DRS open, closing the gap to Big Al. By enough. Daniel Koo holding on. P6 for the moment as Matt Plevy begins to close in. Those harder tyres should be in better condition at this point compared to the mediums. I'm sure he'd like to try and dice it up with these two. And they're just a bit too far behind. Alright, it's a final lap then. Battle for P2 is on. Spicer, he's very much out of the fight thanks to the time penalties he's accumulated. He's got 6 seconds next to his name. ACW though is very much in the fight to try and battle for 2nd place on the racetrack. Round turn 5 for the final time. How is this all going to play out? Well, M-Dog, he's now given himself some DRS, so 4-car train here as ACW makes the move on Spicer. Looking down the inside of Big Al as well. Al breaks deep, so does ACW. It's tight through turn 6. Round turn 7, Al hangs on. But it means as well he won't have DRS heading towards turn 9. M-Dog closes a gap. as we head towards the sweeper for the final time. ACW round the outside. He has to be committed, fully committed round the outside. He can't get it done. Al hangs on to second as M-Dog tries to take fourth. Down towards turn 12. Al covers the inside line, side by side further back, as Spicer keeps fourth. He won't hang on to it though, with the time penalty. Ryan Bell, a superb drive though here at Yas Marina. He'll win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and it will be Big Al who finishes in second position with ACW in third. And Spicer will tumble down the order to 8th place in the final results. Dear, oh dear. Huey making his way round the final sector. Once he crosses the line, the race will end because Mr. Reese here, that's an AI. So we won't have to worry about him. 10 cars will be classified in this race. Onto the main straight he'll go. Our final finisher. Started with 13, ended with 10. A fairly interesting Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with ACW given Driver of the Day honours. Time for the podium celebrations, and Ryan Bell wins here at Abu Dhabi. Big Al and P2 will more than likely secure the Drivers' Championship for a second season in a row. And P3 to ACW for Mercedes AMG. So the unofficial results then of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Ryan Bell is your race winner, with Big Al coming home in second place. I believe scoring enough points to be untouchable with only one round to go, so I do believe he will be our Drivers' Champion for Season 9. ACW completing the top 3 places from starting 10th, he'll finish in 3rd. M-Dog P4, followed by Daniel Koo, then Zach Warren. Matt Plevy P7, then Sebastian Spicer, Grid Jokes, and Huey rounds out the top 10, and our final finisher with fastest lap. Reese Cohen DC'd, his AI finished in 11th, and 2 voluntary retirements in the form of Stevenson and Liddell. An interesting little event. Had plenty of battling. Definitely in the opening stages of the race. It died down, understandably, once the field spread out. But we still had some interesting storylines to keep an eye on. All in all, not a bad race, considering we only had 13 for tonight. Oh. Dearie me. Oh, well, depending on what the attendance is like for next week, this might be the last stream for Pacific Tier 1. I am hopeful that we get enough for the final race. It should be interesting enough for people to race, I would think, I would hope. But that's completely dependent on them, so we'll wait and see. Final congratulations to our top 3. Congrats to Mr. Bell on winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Congrats as well to Big Al on securing the Drivers' Championship. But I think, folks, with everything said and done, time to wrap up the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll see you next week, hopefully, for round 15, the final round of the championship, a sprint round no less, at the legendary Silverstone circuit for the British Grand Prix. Till then, it's goodbye.